preachers have been trying to figure me out all these years, what I'm all about. The closer to God you walk, and the more you obey Him, more strange you're going to seem to a lot of people. That's right. I went just south of Atlanta a few years back. And I don't know how it all happened, but I was booked in a big Baptist church. I mean a big one. And you got a picture of what I'm telling you. We pulled up in that big bus of mine, all of my family, with all this equipment. And you went in the house on the ground floor. Well, the advantage I have, they thought it was just a bunch of singers coming. They didn't know they had a church of God preacher in the bunch. It's too late once I get there. Oh my goodness. I walked up and there was a man sitting there with his arms folded, big old arms, right at the doorway. I know what he was before anybody, I just got there. He was the hub and he was the wheel of that church. I could discern it. He set in to tell me how to set up the equipment and where to put it. I didn't get mad, folks. But I was a little stern with him. I said, I've been doing this about 40 years at that time. I think I know what I'm doing. Of course, you know the devil. He knows how to take the advantage of an opportunity. The devil does. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers of the darkness of this world. The devil said to me, he said, boy, you've done it now, and you just got here. And this thing will just fall as flat as a flitter. This huge Baptist church. Would you believe that that man outshouted everybody in the church house? That was Saturday night. Here's the good part. I haven't told you the good part yet. Sunday morning, we were scheduled to be at a huge, big, monstrous Church of God. Mid-ordained ministry in the Church of God. I didn't know this man, this pastor. Sister Mom, we pulled up that Sunday morning. Hadn't been there 5 minutes till somebody come running out the church. His eyes big, necktie swinging side to side. Ran up to the bus and said, who's Brother Branham? I said, me. Now you're not going to believe the first thing that this pastor said. Keep in mind, I just pulled up. He said, what are you going to do this morning? I knew already that it was stuck in the mud there. Just by the way he asked me that. What are you going to do? And I said, are you ready for this? I don't know. Boy, he turned as white as a piece of chalk. You don't know? I said, no. If he'd been thinking right, that old boy is saying he's going to let the Lord have his way and use him. That's the way he should have thought. Here's what he said to me. He said, well, Brother Branham, if you don't know what you're going to do, he said, let's go in my office. I was getting in trouble and I hadn't just got there. I went into the office with him, Brother Bond. He sat down in his little swivel chair at the desk, and I sat next to him in the chair. He turned and looked at me and said, Brother Branham, if you don't know what you're going to do, he said, and I've heard this a few thousand times, I know my church. Don't that sound familiar? I know my church. I said, good. He said, I want to get you a good offering, Brother Branham. I said, I appreciate that. It takes quite a bit of money for me to operate like I'm operating. Here's the kicker. I knew it was coming before it got there. He said, let me have it back no later than 15 minutes till 12. Now, he's talking to the wrong man. If I'm involved, God's the boss. God is the one I listen to.
That's it.
And before I could catch myself, and I didn't do it intentionally, it just came out. I think there's a spirit of rebuke. I said, they're not going nowhere at 12 o'clock. You know what time we got out? 1:30. Now that's just part of the story, folks. Had 3 adults saved, one of them was his own son.
Praise the Lord.
It pays to go by God's time.
Yes.
God's clock.
Yes.
That's the way I believe it ought to be done, folks. Be led of the Spirit of God and let the Lord knows. If you're walking close to God, you know what to do and when to do it and how to do it. Amen? He's in a state of shock. I said, Pastor, if I'd have done what you wanted me to do, your son would have never gotten saved this service. I'm glad I'm like I am. I just have enough sense to obey the Lord. That's about as far it is with me. Praise the Lord. How many is enjoying this service?